Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. We have Things to Quiet on Set documentary left out. We just did a reaction, another Watch Mojo reaction about the Quiet on Set documentary. See you looking at me with this that side like we gotta do this shit again. No. Yeah, you are. I can see it in your eyes. So I know what you. Yeah. You know. So with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you have to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
knock it in with a thumbs up.
Let's go, y'all. Let's hop into it. Let's check it out. Let's see what they got to say. Let's go.
You're going to get an exclusive here.
Yes.
I got called by these folks saying they wanted to do a documentary on Nickelodeon.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at individuals and controversies connected to Quiet on Set that weren't explored in depth or were omitted entirely from the documentary.
We went back and began to try to do some sort of reporting to try to determine how widespread this problem is.
Brian Peck's close ties to Bryan Singer. Peck was well connected in Hollywood, one of his most prominent associates being Bryan Singer, who has also been accused of inappropriate behavior with minors. Brian Peck didn't just have a cameo in Singer's first X-Men film. The two recorded the commentary for the movie's home media release.
My buddy Gary Goddard was the guy walking alongside in the flannel shirt, and the guy eating hot dogs is you.
The fat guy in the Hawaiian shirt eating hot dogs. Hey, that's me. Thank you for, I'm on screen so long, thank you.
You are. It's in fact, you are so imposing in the screen, people don't even see Stan Lee.
Peck also popped up as a news reporter in Singer's X2.
Look, I just think all this anti-mutant protesting underscores a genuine growing concern among most Americans.
But the X-Men connections don't end there. Quiet on Set mentions that Cyclops actor James Marsden wrote Peck a letter of support.
Listen to me. Don't do this.
What it does not tell you is that Peck was Marsden's best man in 2000, according to another letter that X-Men executive producer Thomas DeSanto regretted writing. Yet it's Peck's ties to Singer that paint a disturbing parallel, and we're not just talking about their names.
A number of people I spoke to who put money in completely denied that anything untoward was going on there. And it was as though they were from the industrial home for the blind.
You think that's a reach?
I don't know.
Because both of them supposedly are, you know. Could there be a reach? Because I guess some people think about it like this. Like, you would think those type of offenders will only hang around other offenders. Mm-hmm. Like, basically, birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. So, because every time you think about it, you're like, bro, who would they hang with? Gotta be other people that's like-minded. Right. With share the same interests. And then, if you know somebody that is like that, why would you continue to hang with them? Right? Or wrong?
Right.
So, is it a possibility he is as well? And then they got so much power and pull in Hollywood. That also gives you the red flag.
I guess it's a possibility, but
who knows?
But who knows for sure, though? I mean, well, someone knows.
That's scary.
Yeah, most definitely.
Drake Bell forgave Ryder Strong. In the 5th episode, Drake Bell discussed a few celebrities who wrote character letters for Brian Peck, including Boy Meets World stars Ryder Strong and Will Friedle. While Strong and Friedle publicly expressed regret, Bell mentioned that nobody had reached out to him directly to apologize.
No one else? No one at all?
Damn.
Personally, no. Not one person who's written one of those letters has reached out to me.
There were a few developments between this interview and the episode's airing. Namely, Strong did get in touch with Bell on April 5th, 2 days before episode 5 aired. Bell posted on social media, quote, "I just had the most amazing conversation with Ryder Strong. We are all healing together. I have nothing but love and forgiveness for him. Only time will tell if Friedle will connect with Bell as well. But in any case, this conversation is far from over."
So I guess I gotta figure stuff out too, but for me, for you.
The media's response to...
So let me say this. Could you write a character letter for somebody
No.
going through a case like that?
No.
No matter how good of a
Personally.
relationship. Let me say that. What if it's your brother?
Personally, I could.
Cause you can't I can't I know who you are, but that's the side of you I don't know.
I don't know.
So I can't write to your
vouch
character.
for, because I'm vouching for you to get off on something or to ease something
That I don't stand for.
that I don't stand for.
So
especially when I know like the damage that it has done to other people. Me personally, you know me.
Yeah,
Personally,
yeah.
I couldn't do that.
So also in that regards, do it makes you kind of look kind of side eye to those people who still chose to write a character letter for this individual with knowing, because you can't say I didn't know what he was up for. You knew. Don't write anything, because I would have been like, what I'm writing a character letter for.
It definitely makes you like question people's character,
even their character. To even
their
write a character letter for an individual with those many, because he had not just one but multiple people.
Facts.
That had allegations against
and
me.
it doesn't mean that, like, with you giving me the analogy with my brother, it doesn't mean I don't love you. I still love you, but I just can't vouch for that behavior.
Yeah.
Too, but for me, for you.
The media's response to Jamie Lynn Spears' pregnancy. While Jamie Lynn Spears is referenced several times, Quiet on Set doesn't delve deep into her pregnancy or, more significantly, how the media reacted. Contrary to rumors, Zoe 101 wasn't canceled due to Spears' pregnancy.
Zoe, something's bothering you. Yeah. If you figure out what it is, let me know.
The series wrapped shooting before the news broke, although episodes were still airing. Even so, the media framed the story as Nickelodeon star pregnant at 16. Spears recalls people calling her, quote, the worst human alive, and that she, quote, ruined Zoe 101 for young girls. Meanwhile, nobody was talking about the working environment Spears was raised in or the sexual content that adult writers worked into her show. While Spears' choices were her own, it was irresponsible for the media to shame her while ignoring the red flags at Nickelodeon.
Of course, I don't want to be, hounded by the paparazzi or the tabloids or allow them to control my narratives, but it felt like I was really being alienated.
Nickelodeon's non-disclosure.
Ain't that's Britney's sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in that regard, it speaks volumes. I ain't gonna speak on it. But that's I didn't
realize, like,
I think I kind of, by the time it faded off, I kind of was done watching like shows like that. I was more maturing. So like even when like Ned's the Classified, even when those shows ended, I was kind of done watching Nickelodeon. So I was kind of moving on already from it. So when shows and stuff got canceled, I didn't even recognize. That's the reason why, like, when a lot of people talk about the one with Ariana Grande, I'm like, I probably caught an episode or two, but I wasn't like watching it.
See,
or what's
like,
the other one? The girl that used to sit online and her brother was watching her and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? She had her own little show online.
She had her own little show online.
Is it Miranda Cross? No.
Oh,
you thinking of Amanda? Because you gonna say Miranda. No, that's Amanda.
Hold on.
Oh.
If you say it, I know we'll be like, oh, that. But right now, I can't.
Her.
Oh, yeah.
What's her show? So down why? iCarly,
yeah.
I never really watched iCarly.
See, I don't. What year?
That was 07 to 12.
07 to 12?
Yeah, I wasn't watching.
I don't know.
Even when Drake and Josh ended, I wasn't watching Nickelodeon around that time.
I was still watching. I think I was watching probably like 09, 2010, because I watched Victorious. I used to like Victorious.
I ain't watched Victorious.
I like Sam and Cat. I used to watch Sam and Cat. I called episodes of iCarly.
I jumped off the porch early, y'all.
Please shut up.
I'm dead ass.
Okay,
yeah, for sure, Victorious. That was 2010. Hell no.
I was watching.
Hell no.
I was watching it.
I'm telling you, I was off the porch already. I was trying to be overly
I was still...
When I was like 12, that's when I started trying to hang out, trying to do
it.
certain things. And
I would go home after...
12, 13 years old, I was like, I thought I was going to be one of them dudes in the streets. For
doing
real.
homework.
I'm dead. Never did homework.
I was
Come home from school, getting kicked out of school. I was always... Yeah, them times, I wasn't trying to be a child
It's okay,
anymore.
baby.
I'm just saying, I read my childhood.
Sure agreements.
It was very difficult to get people to speak, but we reached out to many, many people, and I think those that participated felt that they had been holding a lot of.
So that's the reason why a lot of people ain't speak, because it's not a legal matter. So them NDAs are still into effect, so they can't speak.
Yeah.
Or they can be sued. Damn.
I think those that participated felt that they had been holding a lot of secrets.
According to iCarly star Jeanette McCurdy, Nickelodeon offered her $300,000 to sign an NDA, which would have prevented her from discussing her time at the network or Dan Schneider's behavior. McCurdy rejected the offer, allowing her to tell all in her memoir.
I think I did something that was really hard to do. Oh my God, it makes me emotional. I'm proud of myself.
While many former Nickelodeon stars have since called out the network's management, others have been vague or unresponsive about the scandal's quiet on set spotlighted. There could be various reasons for this, although it's safe to say McCurdy wasn't the only one presented with an NDA. Just because McCurdy said no doesn't mean everyone else did. Alexa Nicholas of Zoe 101 has advocated for Nickelodeon to release employees from their NDAs.
No more silencing in there. We want to know what's happening in there so we can actually help if needed.
Yeah.
We can't participate in any type of help if we don't know what's going on in there. And all of these corporations keep silencing people with NDAs, and it's like enough is enough.
With this unlikely to happen, we may never get the full story. Dan Schneider pressured Jeanette McCurdy to drink.
There was a very abusive producer on that show, and that would not have gone well if I tried to communicate that to him.
While Quiet on Set touches upon some of the allegations McCurdy brought against Schneider, it leaves out one of the most disturbing accounts from I'm Glad My Mom Died. McCurdy recalled the creator, a thinly veiled Schneider, pushed her to drink an alcoholic beverage.
But she can't say, I didn't like that, or she can't not have a sense of humor about it, and she can't not play with it because she has to.
Despite McCurdy's protests that she was 3 years away from being able to drink legally, the creator responded, quote, "No one's looking, janitor. You're fine."
That's why he did it. Because she's considered an adult. But even on the show, we're not looking at her as an adult. Because they always older than what
But not the legal age to actually drink.
Yeah, so she's 18, so he's like, oh, she's an adult.
Oh, yeah.
They're not minors anymore, so I can...
No.
But you still are doing...
Yeah.
So it's still wrong.
Especially when you're forcing it.
Yeah. Because, like, oh, we all drink at 18, you know, you get a little... You're an adult, but it's still wrong.
Birdie continued to object, but the creator argued that the Victorious kids got drunk together, and they needed to give the, quote, wholesome iCarly kids, quote, a little edge.
Hollywood, man.
McCurdy only took a sip, although she'd struggled with substance use in the years that followed. Whether or not this was a turning point, the creator's actions were beyond unacceptable. Angelique Bates' experiences on all that.
I was physically, mentally, emotionally abused in front of the producers and cast members, and sometimes they could even hear me yelling.
Although she was among the first big names to speak out against Nickelodeon, Angelique Bates is only mentioned briefly during the documentary's 5th episode. It was previously reported that Nickelodeon producers stood by while Bates' mother mistreated her on set. Bates has since clarified that her mother never verbally and emotionally abused her, but she claims Nickelodeon did.
From 1992 to 1996, I was a series regular on Nickelodeon's All That. I was only 12 years old, and that's when my nightmare began.
While rehearsing an All That scene, Bates recalled 2 other cast members throwing and spitting milk at her, which wasn't scripted. When Bates threw milk back, Dan Schneider screamed obscenities at her, despite laughing when others did.
Well, no. I was finna say something. I was like, didn't Keenan say he never really worked with Dan? But he said on the Keenan and Kel show.
Yeah, on that.
But you work with him on all that. But you still, in that regards, you still can speak on him. Because you did work with him. So you did see it, but you only addressed it because people asked about the Keenan and Kel show. They didn't necessarily ask you about his involvement in working with him on all that, because I think a lot of people don't really like when you think of Kenan and Kel, you automatically go Kenan and Kel's show.
Yeah.
Failing to realize, no, they started on all that.
Yeah.
Just imagine all, because even like Nick Cannon and all them, it's a lot of people. Like I said, Lori, what's her name? Lori. I can't remember her last name.
But Lori.
Because even when they used to say it, I was like, bro, what the world?
Yeah.
But she hasn't spoke out. You really haven't seen her in Hollywood. And I guess that's another reason why you hardly ever see minors transition from child stars into adult stars.
Mm-hmm.
It's because especially once they get out of the age range where their parents control what they do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that's the reason why they're in Hollywood. It's not really the kid's choice, it'd be the parents' choice.
Yeah.
So I guess once their parents don't really have that control anymore, they like, all right, I'm done with this.
Done, yeah.
And it's time to move on. And they go into a regular world. Or try to.
Try to, at least.
Her with milk. The microphones were on, allowing anyone near an intercom or television to hear Schneider's tirade.
There was many times where I had to go, okay, you're creating an atmosphere on this set that is not healthy.
Schneider apologized after the guest director intervened, but faced no serious repercussions. Mark Summers walking out of his interview. Double Dare host Mark Summers agreed to be interviewed for Quiet on Set, although he only appears for a few seconds. Summers felt, quote, ambushed when the crew showed him a clip he couldn't believe was on Nickelodeon.
And I said, well, let's stop tape right here. What are we doing? Well, we're doing this thing. Do you know this guy? And all this kind of stuff. And I left.
Realizing this wasn't what he signed up for, Summers asked the crew to stop taping and left. Led to believe that only his positive comments about Nickelodeon would be included, Summers was surprised to find the, quote, bait and switch featured.
They put in that other thing where they had the camera on me when they ambushed me. And
no way.
Yeah. So now we get into a whole situation about
still quiet on
who's
set.
Unethical.
Directors Mary Roberts.
That's still the part of the being quiet on set.
Mm-hmm.
I talk positive, but anything I probably saw or know about, I'm not going to speak on anything negative. That's very, like, that's fucked up. Lack of words, you know what I'm saying?
And Emma Schwartz insist they were, quote, clear with each participant about the nature of their projects. Either way, Summers had little to say about Dan Schneider, having never worked with or even met him since Double Dare ended before all that.
Those people came in after and took over our studios. Never met the man. Have no idea about any of those things. I mean, I know Kenan from Kenan and Kel because we've done stuff together. But as far as anything that happened on that show with any of those people, I never met any of them.
Drake Bell's accusers. Quiet on Set doesn't ignore Drake Bell's legal troubles, acknowledging that he pled guilty to attempted endangering children and a misdemeanor charge regarding problematic text messages he exchanged with a teenage girl. Taking responsibility for these mistakes, Bell received 2 years probation and 200 hours of community service. The documentary also notes that he wasn't charged for physical violence. However, the filmmakers tiptoe around the fact that the underage victim did accuse Bell of assault, calling him a, quote, monster.
I idolized and looked up to him, and he took that and broke it in the most sickening way possible. He is the epitome of evil.
His ex-girlfriend, Melissa Lingefeld, also accused Bell of verbal and physical abuse. Bell has denied these claims, and many have backed him up. Since Quiet on Set is about child endangerment, though, it is worth examining this story from every angle.
I made a lot of decisions in my life that I shouldn't have made, and hurt a lot of people. And
where are Brian Peck and Jason Handy now?
3 or 4 months prior to his arrest was the Jason Handy case. And then Brian gets arrested and
nothing.
No articles. I mean, there's nothing about it.
After inexplicably getting a job on Zack and Cody following his served time, Peck still found a few more high-profile gigs. He appeared as Bugsy Hero in the 2008 Adam Sandler comedy Bedtime Stories, and a TMZ announcer in Charlie Sheen's Anger Management, going uncredited both times. Peck's last credit was as Zombie Dad in 2015's Freaks of Nature, although he still lives in Los Angeles as a free man.
That boggles my mind.
After being sentenced in 2004, Jason Handy was released from prison in 2009. Handy's freedom was short-lived, as the registered sex offender was arrested again 5 years later for his old habits. As of writing, Handy is serving his sentence at Petersburg's Federal Correctional Institution, with his release set for August 28, 2038.
You admitted it, and it's...
Wow.
I did not.
Because you want me to tell you something? That's instilled in him. The Handy guy.
Yeah.
He was already supposedly, before even this was one. Then you go through another predator situation. You got convicted for that. Yeah, he was gonna get out. He was gonna do it again. That's who he is. So let's be real. Do we really think Brian Peck possibly hasn't done it since? If we can all be honest, I don't think. I think he has. I don't think he if he could still freely go out here and book gigs, even after doing stuff on Nickelodeon, you just switch networks to Disney. Come on, we all know about, you know what I'm saying, the Disney allegations.
Yeah,
it's safe to assume, but we will only be assuming that he has possibly done it even after that. And there's other victims that possibly hasn't came out, because a lot of people that are victims kind of try to hide it and escape and possibly run away from it and try to put it on the back burner and forget about it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't want to address that it even happened.
Release set for August 28, 2038.
You admitted it, and it's really not okay. You're a criminal, in honestly one of the worst ways possible.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Not the first documentary to call out Brian Peck. 10 years before Quiet on Set premiered, Brian Peck's crimes came up in An Open Secret, another documentary about the dark side of child stardom. Although Peck is among the predators discussed, it's noted that his accuser remained anonymous.
A kid that wants to speak out and say what happened to them beyond their family would truly have to give up their career.
That's what I just said.
And it's like, and not even just like, because you said that, you know, with him, you know, basically what I'm trying to say, not even just him and his actions, but it's just like everyone else is like condoning the behavior, or people will be like the allegations or whatever the case may be. Like if this 10 years prior to, you know, Quiet on Set coming out, like I'm pretty sure there was other things even before like this is a behavior that's not going to stop. It's not going to end.
It's like so many adults have failed so many kids.
And it's sad.
Like even like when Drake said his parents would just drop him off at his house, and he constantly have to go to it. Like y'all ain't, because a lot of people only thinking about the money.
True.
And that's the sad part of it.
So true.
Happened to them beyond their family would truly have to give up their career. It's very sad that that's the case, but it's a reality.
Chances are you never heard of this documentary, as no U.S. distributor would touch it, not even for an on-demand release. You could argue this is because the subject matter was just too depressing, but the more likely explanation is that the industry has been suppressing the truth for decades.
12 years ago, the article got killed. Here we are 12 years later, we get one screening. Maybe we'll get distribution. It's not very likely, but we really do hope that someone will put this out.
It's hard to imagine a documentary like Quiet on Set getting greenlit before Me Too took off. Now that Quiet on Set has gotten the word out, An Open Secret deserves an official release next.
I'm not going to hide this in my head the rest of my life. And I'm going to maybe possibly one day make a difference to somebody else by speaking out about it.
Is there anything else you think that Quiet on Set left out? Let us know in the comments.
My hope is that with every voice that comes out, something changes. Maybe today's the day.
And I was just sitting here thinking, like, how many more
Even after that documentary
How
came
many more people?
Yeah.
How many more young boys and girls? And then, you know, and a lot of times some people, like, when people speak out, like, y'all have to understand and remember that a lot of stuff that happened to them happened to them young and beyond, because you don't know when things, you know, stop, and they having to go and deal with that trauma all these years. Maybe some not getting counseling, maybe some being embarrassed to speak out or not, or speak up, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's very sad. And then to see people just living their life, still getting jobs, still in that industry, and nothing's happening. Like, it's even more like, damn.
Even on the fact that even in that situation, right? With that situation of that documentary coming out, and somebody speaking out saying, I want my voice to be heard so nobody else said, well, your voice wasn't heard because they suppressed that shit and said no.
No, we're not going to touch it. We don't like.
So
really, what's
basically,
the reason?
my voice couldn't get put out there so other people can hear it. Y'all really. So that's the reason why a lot of people don't come out and speak.
Don't come out
because it's like nobody's gonna care. But I guess that's the one good thing about the Me Too movement. I know there's been good things and bad things about all these movements ever since 2015 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's that a lot of good things have been brought to light that honestly Hollywood has been hiding for years.
Yeah.
Just like no matter what color, race, or whatever, is like a lot of stuff has been put out to the masses, and it's only more to come.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like people got to be held accountable for the bullshit they've done.
Facts.
No matter how much money you have made, no matter how much power you like, if you do something wrong, you should be held accountable. And slapping people on the wrist with probation, and that's not resolving the issue. Because obviously, even giving somebody 5 years, they'll still come out and do it.
Especially facts.
So, like, we need proper justice.
You do your time, you come out, and you do the same thing.
Because proper justice is not being served.
It's not being served.
But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it in the comment section down below for us, man. But as always, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ Nikki. This is. We are.
Got to go and get it. Ain't no time to kick it. Got to stack a flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my power.